Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I'm here to talk about Emily Ducote versus Lupita Godinez. They're both 29 years old. Lupi's got a record of 9-3. Ducote has a record of 12-7. And Ducote should have 2 inches of reach on Lupi Godinez. And they're apparently the same height. Whatever. Anyway, Ducote has a record of 12-7, 3 TKO victories, 4 submissions, and 5 decisions. Pretty well versed. Her 7 losses come 1 via submission, which was in the 5th round of a Bellator championship, and 6 via decision. She's lost largely to names in the WMMA scene, really good fighters, and she's still only 29. So she suffered a lot of these losses early in her career, and she's, hitting her stride now. Even though she suffered more recent setbacks to Angela Hill, she's still hitting her stride now. She's looked really good before getting to the UFC, knocking out Danielle Taylor, former UFC fighter. Just cracked her with a big head kick after set her up with a punch and then head kicked her. She's got wins over Juliana Lima, former UFC fighter, very capable fighter. Alicia Zappitella, capable fighter outside the UFC, and Jessica Penne beat her in the UFC. Really beat her to the punch and the kick, down low and up high. And Ducote, her losses are all to good fighters, as I said. Emily Whitmire, Elimele McFarland beat her twice, once by decision, once by submission. Christina Williams, capable fighter in Bellator. Veda Ortega, and of course Angela Hill, who beat her recently in the UFC. But Ducote, she's a girl where if she's caught in a stand-up fight, she doesn't always win it, as Angela Hill proved. But Ducote has great striking. She has really good striking, straight punches down the center, great low kicks. She's got good range management and pretty decent output for a girl that doesn't look like she's working too hard. She's got good output. I think she would win the point battle against Lupi. In general, straight punches, I'm thinking will carry her to a victory, even though power scores points as well, as I'm accustomed to saying. But Lupi Godinez has that wrestling. Lupi Godinez, if she's able to get her down, I think that changes the landscape. I think she wins that fight. But if they're fighting on the feet, I think it's Emily Ducote's realm, and I think it's close, but I'd favor Ducote. Lupi has a 9-3 record, 1 TKO, 1 submission, 7 decisions, and the 3 losses come all by decision. She's been bested by all UFC level fighters, all in the UFC. Jessica Penne, Angela Hill, and Luana Carolina, which is a fight that she took on short notice, much like this one. Kind of wish I mentioned it earlier. But she's taken this fight on short notice, Lupi Godinez. Forget who she's replacing, but it's a matter of weeks. Still not ideal, I'm sure, but hey, she's in shape. She took the fight. That's her thing. And, I'm expecting that she's in shape. She's gotten some big victories, Lupi Godinez. She looked perfect against Ariane Canellosi. Dominated her. I mean, a 30-24 domination. Just relentless takedowns and dominance on the ground. Wasn't able to finish her, but again, never looked better. She dominated Loma Lookboonmee, not as widely as she dominated Canellosi, but still a 30-27. She's gotten 5-round fights under her belt. Beat Vanessa Demopoulos by majority decision in the in Invicta, or was it that was LFA, and that was a very close fight. But I did think Lupi clearly won it. She just allowed Demopoulos into the fight a little bit at the end. And that was a war. It's on YouTube, I believe. You should check it out. And she got that beautiful victory over Silvana Gomez Juarez. That was a fight where she got her down and armbarred her in round 1. And I think Lupi Godinez, assuming she's in shape, I think she wins this fight with wrestling. Not all wrestling. I don't think it's going to look exactly like the Loma Lookboonmee and Ariane Canellosi fight. I think this will be close. It'll be a close fight, but the wrestling will be the difference. and it'll be her actually doing the wrestling, which is not something we see all the time. You know, look at the Cynthia Calvillo fight, her last fight. That may not have been the easiest girl to take down, but Loopy, sometimes she doesn't fight to her strengths. You know, maybe she knows better or whatever, but it could be frustrating rooting for her. Still, I think if she mixes in her takedowns, even if she's getting the worst of the striking exchanges against Ducote, I expect her to still be faring pretty well on the feet, enough to the point where the takedowns will be the difference. And that's what I'm thinking will happen. And of course, there's a chance she just takes her down and never lets her get back up, because she is a force on the ground. So Loopy is my pick. Ducote's not the easiest girl to take down, but it's been done before, and she's still much more of a striker. You know, she's got 4 submissions, only 3 TKO victories, but it's WMMA. They don't have the heaviest hands. Ducote wants to be standing up. She doesn't want to be on her back with Loopy Godinez, and I think that's where Loopy's going to put her. So Loopy by decision is the pick. I haven't played that. I don't think the odds are juicy, but I threw a little sprinkle on Loopy's money line. Not too crazy because of the circumstances, but I've played her money line minus 155. Just a small little parlay. I think Loopy Godinez wants to get this victory here, kind of to erase that Luana Carolina fight from a few years ago, where I think that was coming off the big Ariane Canellosi win, where her stock was incredibly high, and then she tried to parlay it all and took another fight on very short notice against Luana and kind of faded in that fight. You know, Luana was too big and tall and too much for her on the feet. And after round 1, she just kind of slowly dissipated a little bit. But here she is, taking another fight on short notice. I'm expecting she's ready. You know, having learned that lesson in the past, she's ready. And I'm assuming she knows the matchup and what she needs to do. Like, share, subscribe, all that horseshit. Check out my other videos.